right, assalamu alaikum everybody. I am so excited. Our first episode of our podcast. I'm here with our CEO, president, broker of record, and so many more things that I don't even know. HUSSNAIN Hameed here with us today to tell us about how he got to where we are. Thank you so much for being here. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam, Zain. Thank you very much. You are giving me also the opportunity to talk on this platform, and this is going to be our first episode, I think. Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good. It's a Saturday, and you already know on Saturdays and Sundays, it doesn't matter. We're always working, aren't we?
Absolutely. Yes. If I'm not sitting here, I might be doing open house, or I might be supporting my other realtor in his open house.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get right into it, right? I want to know from the very beginning, how was it like? And I think you're an immigrant, right? So you weren't born in Canada.
Yes.
So
I did not.
when did you come to Canada?
That's a good thing that I did not born in Canada. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but Alhamdulillah, I'm from Pakistan. I moved in Canada year 2000 March, and so far so good. 23 years, and doing great.
Okay. And what was immigration like for you when you were coming to Canada? Did you know you were going to be a real estate agent?
No, I never knew that. I never even thought about it. Yeah.
Wow. So you came to Canada. What was it like? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Did you know what you wanted to do?
No, I think to be honest, I was lucky enough. I would say that I had my family here. My uncle, my aunts were all here. So I lived in their house, and thanks to them, they really did not take anything from me. They didn't even charge me any sort of rent or grocery money and all that. You can see that that's a great help. But at the same token, my first job, I worked for a gas station, just an ordinary person, I had maybe $10 in my pocket, and that $10 was given by one of my uncle. So, I salute him today for that, and that was it,
Coming on to the family thing, do you think that it's possible? Because let's be honest, you're a self-made man.
Yes.
But do you really believe in that term? Do you think that somebody can honestly be a self-made man? Or do you think that there's a lot of other things that go into it, like family?
Yes, I would say that, the support of a family is a big, big thing. But at the same token, as my parents, obviously, they were back home. Yeah. So I was supporting them as well. So, yeah, like you said, that the self-made person is one of the things I would say I really encourage that, because I was one of them. Like I said, that I got $10 on the first day when I came in Canada, and that's all I had. And then the journey was just like this. You work hard and you make money. You send money back home. You spend a little bit here. But obviously, there was a support from the family that I wasn't paying the rent at that time. Because when I came, I was student, right? I went to high school. I went to Margarno. Then I went to Ajax High School. Yeah, so, I went to high school here in Canada.
Wow.
This is how I started.
So it's not that you were here like as a full-grown adult. You understand what it's like to be a young person growing up.
Absolutely, yeah. So I was working, for example, I was going to school 5 days a week, right? And then Friday night, my shift starts in a factory.
Wow.
So, Friday night and Saturday night, I was working in a factory, and, I was working for 12 hours.
Oh.
Then Sunday, when the Sunday comes, I was doing my homework to get ready for Monday for the next day in the school. So that's how I started it. Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible. That work ethic, has it always been inside you, that work ethic, the drive to always be better? Because I don't know a lot of high schoolers that can work 12 hours, especially at a factory, and also manage school and all those other things you're saying. So tell me a little bit about your work ethic. Where does it come from?
I think it's more like need than want. So, when you are in the need of something, that really makes you go out there and work hard. I think this was the key.
What do you think some of the biggest challenges were when you first came here? Did you know exactly what you wanted to do? Did you have some sort of plan of what you wanted to do after school, or were you just taking it as it was coming?
No, I was just taking it as it was. I want to be honest enough that, I did not really plan it that, where I wanted to be. So, high school, then college, there was a Seneca College on Don Mills.
Yeah.
I went to Durham College. At that time, that wasn't the university. Yeah, and from there, I worked for a Ministry of Finance. and Ministry of Nature Resources, but that was a part-time with the college. So yeah, so the things were good after that. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So what, like for a young person growing up, would you say that they have to like have a hope that they're going to do something, or do you think that everybody should just kind of, put their head down, work or whatever? What do you think people?
No, and now I really think that, Zan, since you asked me this question, I think that if you have the plan, if you have the guidance, if you have the mentorship, you could be ahead of the game. As long, I believe in three things. As long you are honest, you are a hard worker, you are a hustler. So if you are a hustler, if you are a hard worker, and if you are an honest person, I think the success is waiting for you. Yeah. And again, above all, I would say the mentorship, but the guidance. If the guidance is not there, you are a hard worker, you are a hustler, you are honest, still the destination where you like to be, or you cannot really, really aim high, if there is no mentorship. This is what I think.
So coming off of that, who do you think your biggest mentor was throughout your entire life?
I think if it was the path I took, I learned the hard way.
Yeah.
So my mentorship or my guidance was, I had lot on my shoulders, and I had to cover those costs. So that made me, this is the honest truth, that, I had lot to cover. I have lot to achieve. So, that really made me work hard. And sometimes I really worked hard for I remember the days where I worked like 18 hours a day, 19 hours a day. Yes. And, I really didn't have this enough sleep. And back then, like about 4 years ago. So, I remember that I was doing a video shoot for one of my properties, and, my eyes were getting closed. So, they'd still shoot the video. When it came back, one of my cousins said that, what, you should go and take some nap or sleep before you do the video. So, I was workaholic. Yes, I was. And I want to tell you that, ever since my family came, my wife and my son came in Canada in year 2009, that was the moment that, when I had to pay the rent. Like I said, that when I was living with the family, I really didn't have to pay the rent or the groceries or any sort of money. But I had to pay the rent when I came with my wife. So, when she immigrated in year 2009 and my son came, Muhammad Anas. So, that was the time I knew that, if I'm not really going to work hard, how I'm going to pay the rent for a condo. I used to live in 21 Overley. That was a condo building in Thorncliffe. I lived there about for 1.5 years. Then I moved to 120 Dallamore. I bought a condo. So, that was like only 700 square feet condo, 2-bedroom, 2-washroom. Believe it or not, there was a washroom, standing washroom. It was like 2x2, something like that. Like really, like your elbows, get hit, when you are taking shower. So it was really, really that time when I was thinking that, I should have a house. So then I bought a house in York Mills area, right? Don Mills and York Mills. And I was lucky enough. I saved the money from 2009 to 2012. And 2013 was my first house, which I bought it in Don Mills and York Mills area. It was one of the good area in North York. Yeah, that's where I resided in 2003.
So you're telling us a lot about desperation, working hard because you just have to make ends meet. And I'm sure so many of our viewers will be able to relate to that and understand that. But I think something else that our viewers should understand is that at some point, alhamdulillah, things work out for you.
Yes.
And that's get good. But then you become a little bit comfortable. Let's say you get a good job, and then you don't have the desire to keep on going. Do you have any experience with that?
Yes, absolutely. Very good question. And answer to that is, how would I say? I went into the comfort zone, and that was the year 2014. I had a really, really good job. I had a great package, 6 digits I was earning. But at that time, I realized that, I'm going into too much into my comfort zone, and I really need to do something. Then I came up with the idea that I should take a real estate license. I should take a license, and what license is good? There were so many. I said that I think I should become a real estate agent. So I became a realtor in 2014 December. So my first deal was in 2015, January 2015.
Tell us about your first deal. I think every realtor out there, especially at our brokerage, everywhere, they always remember their first deal. So I want to know, what was your first deal like?
First deal, it was a friend of mine, and he wanted to rent out a condo in Richmond Hill. So you can imagine the timing.
Yeah.
January 2015, snowstorm, like we have a snowstorm today.
Yeah,
You know that outside is everywhere. You can see only snow than anything else. So it was like that kind of a day when I went for my first showing. And believe it or not, at that time, I did not even know that where the lock boxes are placed. So, there was instruction, there's a lock box by the lobby, and then there's everywhere is snow, right?
Yeah.
So then I go to the security guard. I said that, where I can find the lock box. And he said that, that is the direction. So I went there and they were all frozen. Some of them didn't have the card on the back. So then I had to fetch the water, which was supposed to be hot water, to pour it on and then, open the lock box. Then I got the key, make it short. So, then I start showing the houses, he wanted to move into, I think, a condo. Yeah, those suites I was showing. So I went for about 15 showing before I secured the deal. That was my first deal. And I remember that my first earning from real estate, that was the transaction which got me $425 only. So I did not really think of that how much I'm spending money on gas and how much time I'm giving, but I had the passion. I had the passion, I had the desire. I said that, what, I want to be the top realtor. So no matter what it takes, I wasn't really counting like how much money I'm making.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the transaction. So I never thought that, what, this transaction is going to give me 425, this transaction is going to be 50,000. Transaction is transaction. And the client is client.
Wow, I think that's so important for so many new realtors that are, coming into this field. And I think that's such a good point because a lot of people really focus on the actual commission they're making and not how much value they're actually adding to their own portfolio, right? I think that's so important. This leads me to my next question. While you were going through all this, so I can't even imagine in the winter showings not being able to open a lockbox. Was there ever a moment where you thought, man, why did I get into real estate? Why am I putting myself through this? Or has that utter passion to just be the best always been there?
Always been there. Wow. I have always been there. I was passionate enough. I really wanted to do a quality work. Yeah. This is the most important thing in me, that, I always have this saying, promise less, deliver more. So when I was going out there to get the listing, I was just telling the clients out there, the sellers, I was telling them that I'm telling you that I can get you 900,000, but I think I can get you more than that. But I was telling them around 900,000. Guess what? Always is the case, mostly 90%, that, I was getting like 950,000 or $1 million. So, I was always promising less and delivering more because I was so passionate. I knew that I can do it. I have the market strategy. I have the drill, I have the complete package, how I'm going to take this listing and what are the steps I'm going to do. What are the things I'm going to do? Yeah. So I was taking as one listing as is my own. I was taking the listings as they were my own. Yeah. So, that's how I started the journey and, and it went really, really well.
Yeah, I think all our viewers know that it's going really well because we have the fastest growing brokerage in the GTA.
Yeah.
And that's not something that a lot of people can say. And now we are understanding how that's happening, right? So that leads me to another question. When you're getting into real estate, these drills, these strategies, these skills that you've developed, how did you develop them? Did you have somebody guiding you, or is this something you've just learned over experience?
No, I just learned over experience. So, lots of mistakes I made. Yeah. I want to be very honest. For example, just take a small example. For example, when I was doing the open house and I wasn't putting it on my realtor.ca. And then I'm seeing that I put the boards everywhere, but not lots of traffic is coming. Even the house is really good. Then I realized that, oh my God, I had to put it on realtor.ca. And sometimes I was putting the listing on Fridays, when you put the listing about Friday afternoon and then you're putting it on the realtor.ca, the open house, that it reflects, it takes time, right? 24 hours. So, then lots of people did not know that I am conducting an open house since I wasn't putting it on realtor.ca ahead of the time. So, I learned that thing. Then, obviously the marketing strategy, the social media, and then you are sending the postcards. The timing is very, very important in real estate, right? One day a client makes his mind and he says that, okay, I want to sell this house. The second day, if they have not signed up with you, they are saying that, you know what, I want to wait, I will sell it in next 6 months, right? So timing is everything. Same like when I'm sending the postcards. So, the timing has to meet. And lots of time it happened that, when my postcards were going into the houses, for example, just listed, by that time it was already sold. Wow. So I learned all these things with the passage of time and through a tough way, because I was losing money on that too. Right now, when we will finish this today, I'm going to show you that I have about 40 to 50,000 postcards. I did not throw it. I kept it for me, for the reminder for me that the time is one commodity, it's never going to come back. Wow. So I kept those postcards, because what happened is when I was just going to send it through Canada Post, I realized that, oh, I already sold this property. Yeah. Now what I'm going to do? That I spend the money on printing, but then I told myself, I said that, you know what, let's not spend the money on Canada Post, at least save some money from there. But those postcards are there. So I would say that the timing is everything.
Speaking of, okay, so you mentioned social media, right? And timing as well, because they both play a hand together, social media and timing. I noticed that a lot of folks that, are a little bit older than somebody like myself, closer to your age group, they don't really want to do social media. They don't encourage social media, and they feel as if it's something that's for the upcoming generation. So what made you feel as if, okay, social media is the way to go?
So, ZAIN, first I will like to say that I am only 41. So, my age, guys, it's everybody's, you can say that they're everybody's strength, right? It's everybody's strength. So, if their strength is in not doing social media, and they wanted to go for the door knocking, or they wanted to send the postcards, and, they wanted to hold the events, community events, or conduct those kinds of first-time home buyer seminars, let them do that. But in this era where I am, at this moment, where we are sitting at this moment, social media is one of the most important factor, the component, which is going to help not only the realtor, but also to advertise, market their listing as well. So I was always, big fan of social media. When I started, I remember 2016, 17, there were not many realtors out there as there are right now. They are doing social media campaigns and all that. I was doing it. So, when I was listing the property, I never listed the property without the video tour. I had a big video shoot, and that took about half day for me, getting ready, going to the location, and, the videographer was taking all the shots, all the drone shots they were taking it. And then all the time, when we were doing the takes, retake and all that, going inside, outside. Then, like I said, that I'm always, I always believe in that quality over quantity. Yeah. I always believe quality over quantity. The reason is that when I like to deliver as this is going to be my last or the best video. So, this is how I was taking it so seriously, my career of real estate. Yeah. So
that's very powerful. That's a very powerful statement. So what you're saying is, no matter what you're doing as a realtor, even if it's a showing or an open house, you should treat it as if this might be the last one you're ever going to be able to do. Yeah. So is this mentality prevalent in your entire life? Is that something that happens no matter what you do? So for example, if you're spending time with the kids, or you're going out to see some friends, do you see life and time as something that's very precious? Or do you just, you're after the hustle mentality like so many people? What's your opinion on this?
On this one, my opinion is very, very strong. And that is when it comes to my work, I do not take shortcuts. I do not cut corners. And this is where it makes me different from others. I want to be very honest. So, I do not really see that if there's a listing, if there's a condo for only 395,000, and today 395,000, what you can get, right? If I'm listing that kind of a condo, believe it or not, I'm giving my half day, dedicating my half day for that listing, to go out there, making the video, making the reel, and making sure that, the neighborhood people, they know that this property will be listed soon.
Wow, that's so strong. So coming back to like all the way at the beginning, was there ever a moment where like you're getting into real estate, and was there a moment where you doubted yourself? You felt like, maybe this might not work out. Maybe I should go back to my old job. Was there ever a moment where you were kind of like, it might not be the best?
Then, simple answer to this question is, I never see myself looking for plan B. Never ever. Never ever I see myself looking for plan B. I do not say to myself, if this thing does not work, then I have a plan B. Yes, maybe I'm wrong, but this is how I am. I just give my 100%, whatever I'm doing it, and try to do it the best way.
That is so powerful. And I think that's something that, it's like, let's forget about realty. I think any young person coming up, adults even, I think if they treated things in life that matter to them like that, I think their happiness would go up, and I think their overall satisfaction in life and productivity would go up. I love that so much that, and I'm going to internalize that myself, because, I'm not going to lie, as somebody coming up in this economy, it's hard to only have one job and somehow, be able to purchase a house and do all these other things. And that's so, so powerful. So thank you for that. And then coming back to now my next point, for somebody who's growing up, right, and they're let's say they're like you, they're a workaholic, how would you tell them how to balance everything? Or do you believe that, if you have something you're working towards, only focus on that? What's your opinion about that?
Very good question, but answer to this is, obviously they should balance their life. And I tried my level best. I think everybody tries. If people are not trying for the balanced life, they should try, because this is the way you can really go for the big goals. You can go for the big achievements. Because the thing is that, let's say that if you are working hard, I know that sometimes I'm working for 18 hours, 19 hours, but I try to balance it within that week. Maybe then taking Sunday off, maybe sometime taking a day off. Fridays are the days where I prefer that not to work. One reason is that because of the rituals, and the second thing is that after Friday prayer, I prefer that not to go for showings or for the meetings. Yes, I do answer phone calls, but I prefer that not to go and show properties or go for the listing presentation. Just taking the calls and answering them, and try to stay home with my family. Friday is something which I like to enjoy with my family, and I want to give that time to my own self.
So 2 questions actually. The first one is, you said you want to give time to yourself. So what do you do for Husnain Hameed? What is something that you do for yourself?
And for myself, I try to take the time out, and I like to spend in the mosque with my family. And if my family is not with me, then I prefer that, that time I give it to my family. I take them to the restaurant, or, in the backyard, just having fun for 1 or 2 hours, playing soccer with my son, playing cricket with my son, And I try to spend time with my family. I really don't have many friends. I have only one friend, to be honest. And, this way, I think I have people around me. They are well-wishers, and they are friends to me. But, sometimes you say that people consider that your friends are the ones who you hang out with. Your friends are the one who you go party with and all that. Not a party person. I want to be honest. I am not a party person. I'm a friendly person. But when it comes to friendship and all that, I think I prefer that after my work, I give time to my family and to my own self.
So a lot of the times, and this is something that's occurring nowadays, especially in this age of, working a lot, it's called burnout. Have you heard of burnout?
Yeah.
Right. So burnout occurs when you're working so much that essentially your work doesn't excite you anymore. And you feel tired, you feel sluggish, you can't really, your brain's not working, you feel like you're out of it, right? And what's really interesting to me is that right now in psychology, what we're teaching is that you should take a mental health day. So for example, if you're working like 5 days a week, of those 5 days, maybe one of those days you should just kind of take it easy. So it doesn't mean you don't do any work, but it does mean, you kind of take time for yourself, you go on a walk, you maybe go out to get some coffee, stuff like that. What's really interesting to me is you've been doing that, as you just said, for years, right? You just told me that Fridays are your little bit easy days, right? So for me, I have a question, and that is, how do you gauge how much you're working? How do you understand that, okay, now it's too much work? Or how do you understand, okay, now I'm not working enough, I need to get out of my comfort zone even more?
Yes, I think I never go into my comfort zone. I like to acknowledge the fact I never go into my comfort zone. I'm always a hustler. I'm always, ready to take the charge.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go hard. But I would say that when I'm burned out, what I do is that I go to sleep. This is what I prefer. So, at that time, that's the best time that I don't want to talk to someone, because I'm not in my bestest mood. I'm not in my really good mood. Then I prefer that, put the phone on the vibration and then go to sleep for 3, 4, or 5 hours, as much I could. And then, then wake up and then join the party.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting to me, because what they're also prescribing in psychology nowadays is called a stimulus reset. It's a complicated word for a nap. What happens is, if you're, especially in realty, it's a very busy day and it's very stimulating, because one day you're having a video shoot, next you have a showing, then you have an open house, then you have a sitting, right? It's not like one of those jobs where you're just sitting at home typing away, although it does incorporate that. So, they're teaching, you should go home and, make your bed and nap.
Absolutely.
So I find that so interesting that you're already doing these things without anybody having to tell you this is what you need to be doing, right?
Yes.
So coming back to your other point about, leadership and being a hustler, for somebody who's stuck in their comfort zone, they just can't seem to get out of it, no matter what they do. What do you recommend that they do?
I think, should I give them the recommendation? My recommendation would be you get, my recommendation is pretty tough, to put it in one word. That would be, you get life once. Life has been given you just for, how would I put that, you are been given the life, the beauty you have been given as a blessing. That is a big blessing, that you have given a life, and that life is never going to come back once it's gone. So whatever you can do it today. And the time which is going to pass today is never going to come back. So my word would be that for those folks who are in the comfort zone and they cannot come out of the comfort zone, they like to be successful, but they cannot make the actions. They got to tell themselves that today they are healthy. Today is the time they can make the move. Today is the time they can get up, they can get ready, and to make the change, not for yourself, for your families. Because if you do not get up, if you do not leave your comfort zone, how you are going to do good to your family, to your community, to your relatives, to your parents, to your kids? Because if you are in your comfort zone, that means the surrounding of you, that could be your wife, kids, your parents, you are affecting everyone. So if you are not in your comfort zone and you are a hustler, you are a hard worker, that means not only you are being successful, but also the people who are around you, they also get the energy from you as well. And they also become successful.
You've made so many amazing, not even speeches, but statements today that are so profound. And, I think it's what a lot of people need to hear nowadays, because you're absolutely right. Being in your comfort zone is not going to do anything. You're not going to be growing, and you're just simply, but I have an opinion that, if you grow up and you're 50, 60, and you've been in your comfort zone your whole life, I don't think you have a right to complain about your life.
Yes.
I'm sure people that, they've lived a decent life, but they constantly complain, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, right? Yeah.
and they have the potential too.
Yeah.
They have the potential. But what I realize, what they should do is they're gonna do and do they got to put themselves into the action mode. We talk a lot,
Yeah.
but action is something which is going to make you different than others.
Exactly.
We have the knowledge through Google. We have things around. We know if we can do this, we can achieve that. We have lots of motivational speakers out there, but the thing is that why we do not change ourselves? Because the change come from inside of you. Change come from inside of you. Once you think that I'm going to be changed from tomorrow, then and only then you see the change in yourself. Once you have the commitment with you that, you know what, it's me, it's ZAIN HUSSAIN, it's HUSSNAIN HAMEED, I have to change myself. No one else is going to come and change me. It's me who has to take the action. So when you are ready to take the action, then nothing can stop you.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit. I think you're not. I don't think anybody's ready to take action. I really believe that. I don't think anybody's ever ready to get out of their comfort zone. But as you said, you can't. Everybody can talk. Talking is a human trait, right? Everybody can talk. But the doers, those are very few in the world. That's my belief, right? I think sometimes you have a voice in your head, right?
Yes.
Sometimes for example, Muslims, they wake up as soon as the sun rises, they pray. Sometimes when you wake up, you don't want to pray. You're comfortable in your bed. You're warm. But that voice in your head that tells you it's okay, go back to bed, or the voice in your head that says, no, I'm comfortable right now, I don't want to do anything. I think learning how to silence that voice and simply taking actions is one of your biggest strengths and something that I personally notice you want to instill in people that you meet.
Yes.
As you said before, you basically said energy is contagious, right? So if you're hanging out with people who are not going to, take action and they all sit around and talk, you're going to become just like them.
And also, I want to comment on this. You said the right thing. Then I will endorse this, but also I like to add in this frame. I would like to add this thing, which is very important. Be around the people who are positive. Be around the people who has the energy. Be around the people who likes to do something in life. Be around the people who really take things in their hand and they are ready to move. Be around the people who always tells you that, yeah, you can do it. You can do it. Who always motivates you, who encourages you. These are the people you want to be around. And once you see that the positiveness, that means when the positivity is around you, no matter what kind of a circumstances there would be, you will always will be ahead of the game.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. I'm going to throw another psychology fact at you. Did you know that you are the average of the 5 people closest to you? So if you're hanging out or you spend your time around people who love to complain, who don't take action, then you can't really blame yourself. Oh, I'm not. Because you're spending time with people. Energy is contagious. And what I love about you is that, especially at the brokerage, there's so many times where I can really sense that you want other people to grow.
Yes,
I want other people. So I have a question for you, because in this industry, let's be honest, there's a lot of gatekeeping, right? We have a lot of successful realtors all over the place that don't share how they got there, right? They don't help the young brokers, the young agents in their brokerage around them. So I have a question, and that is, how do you avoid keeping things to yourself? What makes you want to just help everybody around you grow? Because it's not just like that with your, people you have strangers in your brokerage, somebody, a new agent, you've never met him before, but your drive to help him succeed or her succeed is always the same. So why is that?
Because I have the belief in this. If you share knowledge, more knowledge will come. If you share wealth, more wealth will come. And I really, truly mean it. And that is why you see in the brokerage that, those secrets, which I always tell our realtors, that out there, doesn't matter how much you are paying per monthly to the mentors and all that, you really don't get to learn what I'm telling you, because I'm telling you the ground reality.
Yeah.
And the ground reality, it is really, really hard. It's really, really rare. You see people sharing the ground reality.
Yeah.
And the ground reality is this: okay, I did not put my open house signs around the house, and then I'm thinking that lots of people will show up. I didn't put it on realtor.ca. I didn't put it on my social media and all that. And then there are effects to that. So why I share with people those things? Because I don't want them to make the mistake, which I made it and I lost money in it. I want people to save money, truly. And I want people to be successful. And the thing is that, when you have this kind of a mentality, then you also get more people around you who are ready to teach you as well.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I won't say, but I think I should say, believe in, people say that believe in karma.
Yeah.
And we also have the believe in that, what goes around comes around, you know. So truly, ever since I tried to share my knowledge and all that, I have met lots of good personalities who came in my life, who are in my life, and they're ready to teach me, and they're just only one phone call away. And that is why I'm available full time. I'm only I'm only a call away as well.
Yeah.
So, this is the uniqueness about our brokerage, HH Homes Realty Brokerage, that, we are not only open 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., right? And then Saturday, Sunday, 10 to 5. We are not only opening 7 days a week, but we are adding the value in real estate agents' career. We are adding the value in their career. So how we are adding the value? We are preparing the offers for our realtors 24/7. Not 24/7, I won't say. We are preparing the offers for our realtors 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. We are uploading the listing for them. And we are doing the social media marketing for them. So that means we are taking all sorts of loads off of them. We are only telling our realtors that you go out there and you just show the properties or go for the listing presentation. This is all you have to do. All the paperworks, HH Homes Realty Brokerage front desk will take care. So our front desk make offers. Our front desk upload listings. Our front desk do the social media marketing, all sorts of marketings for our realtors. So our realtor does not have to give the time for these things, because these things they take about 60% of your time. Then you are left with only 35% of your time. And how you are going to accomplish the goals which you have it. If you want to earn 500,000 or 7 digits agent, if you want to be, if you are spending 60% of the time on your paperwork, and then the rest 40% of the time you're giving to your clientele, this is not good. And this is why HH Homes Realty Brokerage is unique, because of all these things. And most important thing which you asked me before, answer to that is, the lead gen. See, you asked me to stand by if you guys have the lead gen program, if the lead gen program is out there. Yes, there are lots of lead gen programs are out there, and we are also providing online leads as well, right? But my thing at this moment, as we are doing this episode, podcast, we are doing it, I would like to acknowledge to all the realtors out there that getting the lead is not something which is impossible or that difficult. What difficult is in order to convert those leads into the transaction. So converting leads into the transaction is the biggest thing. And that is the secret of the trade. That's the big secret, that how you convert those leads into the transaction. For that, you definitely need the mentorship. You definitely need the support. You need the guidance. So without the guidance, I don't think so that if a realtor is doing good work, doing 6 to 7 deals a year, I would say that they definitely still need the mentorship who can really encourage them how to make into the transactions.
Now, I think we should summarize now and conclude. So I have last question for you. I can tell you love your realtors. You love everybody you work with and everybody that's under your umbrella for mentorship.
I love real estate.
Real estate in general.
Anything which is associated with real estate, I love it.
So actually, that makes me think of 2 questions. So the first one is, have you always had a certain passion for real estate, even as a child, even as a young, guy growing up in Canada? Or did it just one day, like you got into it? Like, so some people, they develop a passion once they get a taste of it. Some people always have a passion for something. So which one was it for you?
I think for me, year 2011 is like about 12 years ago. I really felt my passion towards real estate. And then I came in real estate in 2014, right?
Yeah.
So I did not come in real estate as a part-time realtor. I want to acknowledge that. I left a good job. I left a big package, 6 digits plus package. I left it for real estate. Yeah.
I can't even wrap my head around that. I think that's so phenomenal. Like that belief in yourself. I think that's something that I don't think a lot of people have.
I think I have believe in this. Burn your boats
Love that.
and go for it.
Love
Go
that.
for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you are going for it 100%,
Yeah.
law of attraction,
Yeah.
if you know that you are going to do door knocking today for 4 hours and I'm going to grab one listing, at least I'm going to make sure that, you know, somebody takes my card and say that, you know what, can I see you next Friday? And let's sit down. I want to talk about this house. I want to sell this house.
Yeah.
And I like the energy in you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you have something in your mind,
Yeah.
and that has to be positive.
For sure.
When you have something in your mind, has to be positive. Doesn't matter what it is. If you have the tools for that, if you have the energy for that, if you are honest about it, if you are loyal about your career, then why not? You can achieve whatever you want to achieve. This is what I have to believe in.
I think that belief is what sets you apart from so many people. And then my last question is, when you encounter somebody who doesn't have, because I experienced this, right? When you encounter somebody who is in their comfort zone, you know they have the potential to do so much, but they simply aren't doing it. Does that frustrate you?
Yes, that does frustrate me because, you know, if I'm putting my 100%, I'm putting my 100%, and I want somebody to be successful. They have the potential, they have the tools, they have everything, but they are in their comfort zone, you know, and they don't want to come out of it. That really frustrates me. Obviously, then I try 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Then I have to see that more deserving people, I have to give them time as well. Then obviously I tell them in the last meeting, you know, I tell them that, you know what, this is what I put up for you. This is what I gave it to you. And you know what, now the action is required. Without the actions, and if, as we are sitting right now at this moment, right, there was a snowstorm, right? And in the open houses and all that, we knew that not lots of traffic is going to come and all. So we decided that let's do the first episode of podcast, right? So we are here, sitting here, doing it. And after that, I have another appointment to go to. So, you know, you have to put yourself into the action. You have to act. Action is everything. Yeah. And above all, the mentorship and the guidance is very, very important if you want to achieve big.
Awesome. Good. And so, Mr. HUSSNAIN Hameed, CEO, President, Broker of Record, thank you so much for our first episode and sharing so many beautiful insights. I think what you're saying is so profound because this is the kind of stuff that young generation people need to listen to, and also people that are in this industry that are real estate agents. But the best thing is, this is what anybody in life can apply, right? The things you're saying about how, you know, you should have balance, so many things about how you should be a hustler, you should take action. All these things are, I think, what this upcoming generation and people that are stuck and in their comfort zone need. So for that, I cannot thank you enough for sitting down with us. We know you're a busy man, and it was really hard to get a hold of you and actually make sure that you're here for a while. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Do you have any last words for our viewers about maybe what's upcoming in our next episodes?
And thank you very much, ZAIN. You're also coming here and giving your precious time. Absolutely. I would say one line, and that would be positive, be a hustler, and success is waiting for you. This is what I would say. And the second thing I would say, coming back to your last question, what we are going to cover in the next episode, I think we will be covering how to increase your revenue if you are a realtor. what kind of components you should look into to be a successful realtor. And also we can put a light on a different career as well, that how you can be successful and how you can increase your revenue in any other business.
For sure, because a lot of the things that you teach and that you talk about, they can be applied to so many fields.
Yeah, so many people can relate to
Yeah,
this.
absolutely. So many people can relate to this, even if they have a work at home job, right? Even if they have an active job or they have working anywhere, right? So I think that's really important. With that, I hope our viewers stay tuned for our next episode. Thank you so much for being here with us, for helping us, give back to you. And we look forward to sitting down with you for next week.
And we like to know from people that how we are doing, and your feedback is very, very important. Honestly, this is what I truly believe in. Without the feedback, we cannot improve. And if you think that which are the areas where we should improve, we will try to improve. And thanks for your support. Thank you very much, everyone. Take care.